What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Tuesday, January 6th. Happy Michael Bird Day. Shout out to everybody that's in his chat so far. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you are here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live, or join the Discord and you will be notified in there. Also, if y'all haven't seen the community post that I made, I said I upload videos Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, because I said happy Michael birthday, let me just get this out of the way. It is not his birthday today. I had a lot of people come under that community tab thinking it was this man's birthday. It is not his birthday. Think about what today is, and then look him up, and you'll understand why I declared today as that. You know, shockingly, I didn't get many, or any rather, troll posts underneath the one that I made on Twitter, because I was almost expecting it, but I didn't receive any. But you know what? It's still time left in the day. It's still being floating around. It's still being floated around. So you never know who might actually come across it. But if they ain't seen it by now, they ain't gonna see it. But before we get into everything, let me go ahead and acknowledge the people who are here so far in the chat. I got Raging Woody, Black Brutes Productions, Wallow J, Cammy 100, SD Johnson, Don P, Hurricane Nisi, KG, Jonathan, Dark Titan, Astarte Jones, DeMarcus Vaughn, Gamers Den, George Matheson, AW1, Miss Brooklyn. Shout out to Savion for being a member of the channel for 26 months. He said, I wonder what type of crack they smoking. They need to stop. They must be smoking the good. They must be smoking the bad stuff. But shout out to you. We got Emmanuel. We got Chaz, Revolutionary, Allstel Gray. Shout out to DeMarcus. He said, Happy New Year's, Torian and everyone. Today makes 5 years that the White House was trash. Well, it wasn't. Well, thank you for the super chat. But to correct you slightly, DeMarcus, it wasn't the White House. It was the Capitol. That's where they went. And make sure y'all are tuned in for the weekly recap that I got coming this Saturday, because something happened today. Something happened today in DC, and I didn't know about it until somebody sent it to me on Instagram, and we're gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna wait till Saturday to discuss it. We got D Wood is in here. We got Legit Hustle. Who else we got in here? Yeah, that's what the B should stand for, KG, honestly. We got RJ in here as well, and anyone else that I may have missed, or anyone who hasn't come into the chat yet, make sure that you make your presence be known. No, not today, Miss Nisi, because we got other matters to discuss. Like I said, I'm gonna save it for Saturday. You'll see it on Saturday. Y'all heard that in the background. That was my fan. I had to turn my fan off because it was too noisy by my ear. We got D Money just came in here, and Kels just came in as well. Shout out to each and every one of you is in here. So today we're going to be going over this video on the Valuetainment channel, and it's ran by Patrick Bum David, as KG said. And it's a video that he is like a podcast that him and some other guys have. And they're basically talking about the Netflix special that Dave Chappelle had that came out in December. And I told people before, but in case y'all didn't know, he came to my job back in October and recorded that special. So I was able to see it live. And in one of the jokes that he gave out within the first 30 minutes of his set was about Charlie Kirk. And I said, when I watched that, I said, when this goes on Netflix, some of the usual suspects going to be upset by this. And I think we have found the pot, because the guys that's going to be talking up here today, they felt some type of way about it, that they started saying things like what you see in the title of saying that Charlie Kirk ranked higher than MLK when it comes to influence, which we know is a bunch of nonsense. Shout out to Ozzy Edwards for being a member for 39 months. He said Charlie Kirk stands should like the crystal meth alone. Oh, leave the crystal meth alone. I'm about to say like the, but I think you meant to say leave. Yes, they should. But shout out to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead now and just share my screen, and we're going to just jump into it. The name of the video is called they call him the internet guy, because I think that's what Dave Chappelle referred to Charlie Kirk as, and they did not like that he referred to him as just the internet guy, because again, you gotta overinflate that he was more than just the internet guy. But let's go ahead and get into it.
You want to go what Dave Chappelle said about Charlie Kirk?
Sure.
Let's go to that one. Can you play the clip about what Dave Chappelle said about Charlie Kirk? Here's Dave Chappelle. He said a lot of things this weekend. A lot of things. I don't know if you watch it or not, Vinny. Did you? How was it?
And by the way, y'all, I have talked about Patrick Bet-David before. I think the first video I ever did about him was probably sometime last summer. He had said some ridiculous stuff as it pertained to Black Americans, and I called him out on it. So this won't even be the first time I ever address him. But I don't think I've talked about the other guys that's in this video with him.
Okay, he's the best. The first thing I saw, he had a Kaepernick, the name Kaepernick on the back of his shirt. I'm like, what the, like Colin Kaepernick?
He's so upset. I forgot about that. When I saw the stand up and I saw he had on that Kaepernick jersey, which I can tell was custom made, I said they're gonna be mad about that too. And that's literally like he said, that's the first thing you see is him coming out and he has on the Kaepernick jersey. It's like a camouflage Kaepernick jersey, and it has it's like jeweled around the outline of the number and the lettering of his name. So like I said, you can tell it was custom made. Shout out to Ozzy for the 10. He said he wasn't just an internet guy, he was a drifting internet guy. Appreciate you.
All due respect, give me an effing break. The guy whose career went to shit, so he was like, let me grow my afro as big as possible and give me, come on.
Well, let's read the story.
He's so upset. The thing is, Colin Kaepernick's career was not dwindling when he did what he did. It was still very much at a good point. He was still at a very good point. They keep forgetting this guy went to the Super Bowl 2 times. Prior to that, he was still on the up and up. But something clicked in him and he decided to do what he did. But then they put out this narrative that, his career was dwindling, and that's why he decided to do it, because he was doing it for attention. In their eyes, what he was doing was for attention, but we saw what he was doing. Apparently it worked because many people around the world saw it, and people like this guy right here hated it.
Started hating on white people, and his parents started
I'm actually with Vinny.
No one, he was. See what I mean? This is what I mean when I talk about they lie so much. Excuse me, y'all. When I talk about when they lie so much. This is the stuff their clan ancestors used to do. And that's why a lot of our businesses got destroyed. That's why many of our ancestors ended up getting lynched and a whole bunch of other stuff, because they do nothing but lie. That's one thing I will give them credit for. If they don't know how to do anything else, they do know how to lie.
Yeah,
go ahead and play this clip. Go ahead.
And the whites were quick to say this. They said, Charlie Kirk is this generation's Martin Luther King.
Mo, can we play it or
on
no?
Netflix? Hold on. I was gonna say, can you play this? I don't know.
Is it not the best?
No,
we can play.
No. What I'm saying is,
we give
Netflix.
commentary about it.
That'll I don't know.
Get taken down. As long as we give commentary and talk.
We're gonna give commentary.
Yeah,
Keep
we're
going.
talking. We're talking. Hey, Netflix, don't take this down. We want to give you guys promotion on Dave Chappelle.
It's crowded, unlike anything y'all could do. Notice it said it's crowded. Yes, it was crowded. Like I said, I was there when he did this. It was 18,000 plus people in that arena that night. I was on the second floor. It was not an empty seat in there. Every seat was full. Yes, Patrick Bum David, it was crowded in there. You sound intimidated just by that alone, that this man, Dave Chappelle, who has had a career since the 90s, we're talking about, he practically been in the game for over 30 years. Has all now this is influence.
Okay, go ahead, Adam.
Well, Dave Chappelle is just purely wrong about Charlie Kirk. I love Dave Chappelle. I've spent time with Dave Chappelle. I mean, he's, in my opinion, the greatest comedian, certainly of our generation. Chappelle's show was completely groundbreaking 20 years ago, dealing with politics and race relations and sexual relations, everything. Dave Chappelle pulls no punches. He's a free speech absolutist.
Now, before I'm glad I stopped right there. it's funny how they loved Dave Chappelle so much. Remember a couple years ago when he had that issue, he almost had that issue with Netflix because he was in one of the stand-ups he did where he was talking about the trans community, and you had people who was trans who was working for Netflix, was trying to do some underhanded stuff to get his stuff pulled or whatever like that. I can't remember all the details. I bet you every last one of these guys on there was in heavy support of him doing that because he wouldn't back down, and he even went on to say that he had a friend who was trans and they, all types of stuff like that, even mentioned them in the stand-up. But when he said that and didn't back down to that, and not only did he not back down, but he stayed on at Netflix, got more specials and more money, and was headlining for like some kind of comedy fest they had going on. I'm sure that this guy, Patrick, Bet, David, and all the other ones on this panel was fine with that. But the exact minute that Dave Chappelle gets on there and refers to Charlie Kirk as the internet guy, now, I don't know about this. Also with the same guy, I turn it on. The first thing I see is he's wearing a Kaepernick jersey. Oh, why is he wearing a Kaepernick jersey? I'm going to tell them like they tell us. Don't get mad. It's just jokes. Why are you being so sensitive? Stop being a victim. See how we can do this. We can do this tit for tat thing all day. I know I can.
Understands race and identity and culture, and he's a brilliant, brilliant guy. He's just dead ass wrong about Charlie Kirk. And to dismiss Charlie as just some internet person is at the very least uninformed, at the very most just plain stupid, bro.
And the thing is, most people will tell you, at least back when with what happened to him back in September, most people, especially a lot of black people, were saying, I didn't know who in the world Charlie Kirk was until he died. I saw and heard a lot of black people say that. We knew about him because he was the internet guy. A lot of the posts that I talked about when it came to Charlie Kirk came off of Twitter. What is that on? The internet. If there was videos that I was reacting to involving Charlie Kirk, where did I get that off? The internet. So I ask again, was Dave Chappelle wrong in referring to him as the internet guy? Shout out to Miss Nisi. She said, Pew 2 tripping about I want to say what I want to say. Yeah, shout out to you. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like when I be trying to type certain things into the super chat, it'll send an error if certain words if they won't allow certain words to go through. Trust me. And then I have to like censor it, but in order for the super chat to go through. But I do appreciate the super chat. That's what I just said, Miss Brooklyn. Most people didn't know who Charlie Kirk was until he died. When MLK was alive, the world knew who he was. Hell, when Malcolm X was alive, people, I wouldn't say the world knew who he was, but the black community knew who he was. Charlie Kirk, most people did not know who he was outside of people like this guy, those on the panel, and those who followed him like that. See, what they're doing is they're overinflating his influence higher than what it should be or what it was. And that leads them into saying the dumb crap that they're about to say in a few minutes.
Charlie Kirk was a monster, a giant in a political, social culture that thrives off social media. He's not a social media influencer like some OnlyFans chick or some kid that's just doing it for like.
Look what he just said, thrives off of social media. So does that, I guess that would mean he is the internet guy, because last time I checked, social media is on the internet.
And clicks. He built a full-on coalition that helped Donald Trump win in 2024. So to dismiss that as some internet person is naive. And again, this is the whole thing. I'm not going to condemn Dave Chappelle or say that he's wrong about everything. Dave Chappelle's right about most things. He's just wrong about this thing.
Benny.
Yeah. Just to,
I don't know if you caught what he just did right there.
I
What
definitely saw
What
that.
I do right there?
Well,
What I do right there?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Benny.
We saw what you did. But think about it.
You know what? I'm out of here, guys.
I
just
Go
really
use your restroom.
exactly.
Go ahead.
I gotta go shoot outside.
No. By the way, him saying that he was internet and he was just spewing negative things.
He was. See how they're the only ones that feel like they agree with what he said. But he did say those things, though. Like, y'all, I don't know how I don't know how many ways they can contort this. And they've been doing it and have been doing it and will still continue to do it. But that's literally what he did. Let's be honest with ourselves here. And now it's like every week we see something about his wife popping up. As far as I know, she is no more different than he was.
Charlie sat in front of college campuses and people all over the country and engaged because of their negative crap. He was the light. He was the positivity.
The what? The what and the what? The light and the positivity. Light and positivity must got new definitions. Because those are two words I would have not applied to him.
So to compare, to say that, and mind you, yeah, Martin Luther King, it was Martin Luther King. I get it, civil rights and all that stuff. But to brush him off as some internet guy, and by the way, Dave Chappelle's another.
You just brushed off what Dr. King said. Yeah, Dr. King was a great guy, civil rights movement and all that stuff. And the way he waved his hand was in a brushing movement, as if to shoo away. Dr. King was actually more than just that. There's one thing that we know Dr. King had that Charlie Kirk does not have. Does anybody want to know what that is? Put a one in the chat if y'all want to know what Dr. King has that Charlie Kirk doesn't have and will never have. Put a one in the chat if you want to know. There's one thing we know he has that he doesn't have and will never have. No, we can't say children because both of them had kids. Well, one is definitely Holiday, even though they're trying to make a holiday out of Charlie Kirk. Boy, ain't anybody thinking about that. Someone that said 8 extra years of life. Nope. He said, yeah. Nobel Peace Prize. That's one thing, but it's something else. Someone said a holiday. A legacy, that's definitely one, but that's not what I'm thinking of. A statue. There it is. Shout out to Bougie Bar, because at first I was going to say it, but she just said it. A degree. Something a lot of those individuals over there don't have. A degree. Shout out to Bougie Barbie. You win the little gold star. Because everybody, and from a 4-year institution, by the way. And he went when he was 15 years old. Unlike Charlie, who couldn't complete a junior level institution, which is 2 years, dropped out after 1 semester. What in the world?
One of these guys that just has that victim mentality. At the end of it, he's like, man, we got to get this mother effing the orange man out. Like, really?
He said
like,
that?
Yeah, at the end of it. Like, what is your obsession? Like, he's falling into the, like he was talking about, like, and I get the joke of it. This, he got, National Guard and here and in Washington and here, and he got him in Memphis. Well, Memphis actually looks pretty good because, I was there and it looked good because it was clean. He's admitted. I know that he's walking the line, but the whole, like, and again, wearing the shirt with Kaepernick on the back tells me everything I need to know about where you're at.
Why? Because he wore a jersey with Listen, let's be real here. This guy already had it in for Dave Chappelle in this special the minute he saw him wearing that jersey. He already said it flat out at the beginning of this video. He said, the minute I saw Dave Chappelle wearing that Kaepernick jersey, in so many ways, he was already tuned out. That means he has an innate disdain towards Colin Kaepernick. I can only imagine what he was talking about over 10 years ago. I can only imagine what he was talking about when all of the Colin Kaepernick stuff was going down initially. I'm sure that all of them probably felt the same exact way. How dare this? At that point, when Colin Kaepernick did that, they were no longer calling him biracial and mixed. They was calling him that N-word at that point. How dare that N-word, who was getting paid millions and millions of dollars from the NFL and the 49ers organization, kneel in protest of police brutality against Black people in this establishment. How dare he get adopted by this white family and was brought out of the slums of his inward father, who's probably in their eyes a deadbeat, and his in-loving mother, who was probably this, that, and the third, and gets adopted by this family in this nice suburb. I'm almost certain they was thinking that or said it. And as you can see, over 10 years later, that still has him riled up. And they try to tell us that we need to get over it, and it can apply to anything that's affecting us. It's been over 10 years since that happened. But why am I not surprised? These were the same people that up until OJ died was still pressing about the whole OJ thing. Right now, they're still talking about George Floyd. And like I told you, if that Carmelo Anthony trial goes the way that they don't want it to go, Carmelo Anthony's going to be public enemy number one. You're probably going to hear more of Carmelo Anthony than George Floyd.
You want to talk about comparing them? What's the symbolism about wearing that? What is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, not only is he wrong about Kirk, but he's wrong about Martin Luther King too. He's painting Martin Luther King as if he walked on water and was holding.
Oh, wait. Okay, this was the other guy right here that pissed me off more so than the guy that you just saw. Listen to what he's about to say.
Holier than thou. Martin Luther King, not only he had like a ton of extramarital affairs where he was cheating on his wife, he was alleged to have watched sexual assault take place. He was.
Where are you hearing this from? On what 4chan forum, Twitter, as it stands now, did you hear this from? And not one time is he going to be asked to pull up any proof or any receipts to these allegations that is being levied out about this deceased man. Now, what if someone was to start saying things about their precious Charlie Kirk? They would be back on that platform ready to go at whoever said it. Exactly, only us, no proof. But you know what? Because they got so upset at Dave Chappelle for saying that Charlie Kirk was just the internet guy, this guy gonna come out and say, I bet he's not gonna talk about Dr. King's alleged, extramarital affairs and him witnessing an SA. That, first off, that's my first time ever hearing that second part. The first part we all heard about. That second part, I never heard that. So I really need to know where you got that from. Exactly. You said the recent declassified FBI files on MLK does not mention him cheating on his wife. I forgot about that, but thanks for bringing that up.
Alleged to have done numerous plagiarism throughout his academic career. So like a lot of the stuff that he was saying and a lot of stuff that he had credit for, like might have been BS. And he wasn't the person he painted himself as, where Kirk was like super Christian, super good guy. And he owned.
Oh God. Y'all, they are glazing more than a Krispy Kreme donut while the hot light is on.
I think if MLK was alive today, he'd be using the hell out of social media. Of course he would be. So
how do you know he would have been using social media like that? If MLK was alive today, that man would be elderly. And if there was social media that was surrounding around him and he was still alive, I bet you he would not be the one running it. It would probably be maybe a great grand or something like that. Someone who will be capable to do it. Not saying the elderly can't function social media. But how young did he think MLK was when he died? Granted, he was young, but he must have thought he was like in his 20s. What in the world? But see, what I don't like about what he's doing is he's diminishing MLK's legacy in order to prop up someone who just someone. Super Christian. The way I roll my eyes when they said they love to say super Christian. Exactly. He said his 98th birthday is coming up later this month. That man, if he was still alive today, would have been almost 100. He wouldn't have been able to function social media.
It's a
He'd be a live streaming machine.
Yeah,
Oh,
all day, every day.
Playing video games and, saying what he's saying.
Yeah, a menace today.
Yeah, no, he would be. But by the way, in my opinion, I want to go to the next story. My opinion, they both have a massive impact. Martin Luther King is a painting. I have a painting of him in my house that he's in. He's one of the only 8 characters in that painting that I.
Who are the other 7 characters? That's what I'd like to know. Who are the other 7 characters you got in a painting with Dr. King? Because I bet you they don't even belong there.
I have. But to me, Charlie Kirk is bigger than Martin Luther King.
There it is. And this is where the title of the live comes from. It says Charlie Kirk stands rank him higher than MLK when it comes to influence. Patrick Bum David, please explain why you said such nonsense.
Period. Charlie Kirk, there's 4,600 hours of him. There's only about 4,200 hours of MLK speaking.
I was about to yell into this mic. I was about to, my sound board was about to be red.
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.
What did you say, nigga?
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
Who cares how many hours someone's spoke? What? That doesn't make any sense. This guy said Charlie Kirk has 4,600 hours of speaking. First off, how do you even know that? How do you know that? That's not something that I don't expect people to clock. Then he said Martin Luther King had 4,200. How do you even know that? I'm telling you, we are living amongst some weirdos, y'all. We are living amongst weirdos.
You talk about the personal life, even if you go watch some of his documentary, if you type in just type in Dead Mentors as the painting. That's what you got to type. If you go look at some of his documentaries and what he's done, Dead Mentors, not the Dude Romney, Dead Mentors.
Dude Romney.
There you go. That's a go to images and you'll see it. So, no, but to me, Charlie Kirk, what he did is a lot.
Shout out to SD Johnson for the super chat. He said, "Oh, let me go ahead and play it for you."
Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
Precisely. But shout out to you for the $10 super chat.
Tougher.
Let me rewind it back a little bit.
There you go. That's a go to images and you'll see it. So, no, but to me, Charlie Kirk, what he did is a lot tougher. Much
a lot tougher. How? All he did was go to college campuses, sit under a tent and talk and speak propaganda to college students. When he was sitting there with people who were his age, like in his peer group, he could not out debate himself out of a brown paper bag. What do you mean tougher? It takes nothing to go set up a table and a tent and just bring and with a microphone and a speaker box and put a sign up there that says talk to me about this, and this. This again, look what Patrick Bum David just did. He diminished Dr. King's legacy even further lower and tried to make it seem like Charlie Kirk was this outstanding beacon of society. I'm like, dude, does he not know what Dr. King went through back in those times? Charlie Kirk had it so much easier, literally, in more ways than one, compared to what Dr. King had to go through back then. I mean, we would spend like another 15 minutes just going over a laundry list of things that man had to go through back in the day. Not only just from the usual suspects, but even from the enemy within. Jay, you said comparing apples to oranges, more like comparing rotten apples to oranges.
bigger. I wouldn't say much tougher because MLK, what he did at his time was tough.
See, so he fixed it. He fixed what he said.
But Charlie Kirk made a massive, massive impact. MLK.
Okay, so this is the painting right here. So who do we have in here? We got Albert Einstein, JFK, Abraham Lincoln. You know they love them some Abe Lincoln. We got Pac. Who is this? Hold on. Patrick Bet David, this bet not be you. This bet not is that supposed to be Obama? I don't know who that is. Who's that? Can someone tell me who that is in the blue suit? I'm not sure who this is sitting down. And this looks like it's a NASCAR driver, but I can't pinpoint who that is. Not sure. And then you got Dr. King over here. You said that's him? Oh my God. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Someone actually listed. I didn't see it, but someone listed them on the side. So you got Einstein, Kennedy, Lincoln, Pac. Oh, so that is him. You put yourself in the painting. It is him. That is him. So that means somebody painted this for him, and he put himself in there as people who are. But the thing is, it says dead mentor, so I don't know why he would be in there. He's very much alive. No, okay. So let me go down what the list says. It says Einstein, Kennedy, Lincoln, Pac, and it says PBD, but that's him. Then it says Shah, Senna, Milton Friedman, and MLK. Yeah, the older guy's not Warren Buffett. It's not Warren. I thought it was Warren Buffett too, but it's not.
Peaceful protest, the things that he did. Selma followed the story very closely, but I just think Charlie's legacy is going.
He just named two major things that Dr. King did that completely eclipses everything Charlie Kirk did. But in his eyes, Charlie Kirk was bigger and more massive because he had the numbers. This is like that argument of when people keep trying to say that Aubrey is bigger than Michael Jackson. That we not having that in 2026, we dead in that discussion too. We ain't having this versus Michael Jackson discussion this year. Is not happening. Not on my watch. But he's doing this based off of numbers. Patrick Bum David, do you realize that the internet and social media was not a thing back then? Back then, those were organic numbers because people were actually outside in the streets. Those were actual raw numbers. I want y'all to also understand that all the men that are discussing this right now are all like at least in their late 30s, 40s, maybe 50s that are talking like this. This is not men in their 20s or their teens. They are all older than me. Some of them are in some of y'all age bracket status in this chat.
Going to be bigger long term than MLK's, my opinion. I think Charlie's legacy is going to be not 2 times, 100 times bigger than MLK's long.
I got to do it again, y'all.
What did you say, nigga?
Listen. Fuck up. Get out.
Damn. It's a bunch of bull.
Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to participate. Don't even put that on me. Ancestors, get that energy off of me. Please wipe it off me. God! I don't even want that energy on me. Don't put that on me. I don't want to be a part of that prayer chain. Hell to the knob.
Did y'all hear what he just said?
I just think Charlie's legacy is going to be bigger long term than MLK's, my opinion. I think Charlie's legacy is
I'm glad he said it was his opinion and only his opinion, because I don't think the masses would ever agree with you on that.
going to be not 2 times, 100 times bigger than MLK's long term, simply because there's more.
I forgot about him already until this video.
More stuff that's documented with Charlie than there was with MLK.
I don't know if Charlie's going to end up being bigger than MLK. Regardless, to me, MLK, Charlie Kirk, some of the greatest Americans to ever live.
Only one of them. But hey, it's just my opinion, right?
You only try to assassinate the people who are the people moving the needle. Abraham Lincoln, JFK, what they try to do to Trump, MLK. So I'm saying, our friend Brandon over here basically only listed the negative about MLK.
Because he said he was perfect.
Okay, who said he's perfect?
Dave Chappelle did. He
Nobody's perfect.
He didn't say, what the, this one right here, the one where my cursor, this one right here, that's sitting at the edge of the table. He's irking me. Now he putting words in Dave Chappelle's mouth saying that MLK was perfect. Where did he say that he was perfect? He never said that. He heard what he wanted to hear because he said something about Charlie Kirk being the internet guy, and that pissed him off. So now he's putting words into Dave Chappelle's mouth, which he did not say. Did anyone in this chat hear Dave Chappelle say that Dr. King was perfect? Because I didn't hear it. Someone please let me know, and we can go back and listen to it. I would know because I was there when they recorded it, and not once did he say that he was perfect.
Yeah, but he made him sound like he was perfect.
Okay, but to only highlight the negatives of MLK is doing a disservice to MLK and the country.
All right, let's go
He
to
was
the
one of
next
the greatest Americans.
Now look at what's going on. Look what's happening. The guy in white is saying to only highlight MLK's negatives would be doing a disservice to him. Now, Patrick Bet David is catching on to what he's doing, and he's trying to cut him off and move on to the next segment.
Is doing a disservice to MLK and the country.
All right, let's go
He
to
was
the
one of
next
the greatest Americans.
The other night,
look at that. He done swiped away and went into his ad. I think that's an advertisement. So let's get past this. He swiped away at the guy, cut him off mid-sentence when he was saying things he did not like, because it's like he's falling off the door, you know, like in the Titanic, he's falling off the door and into that cold freezing water to go and plug in his shoe ad. Let me see. And that's the end. The rest of this video from 7:55 to the end for the next 3 minutes is nothing but his advertisement for his wax shoe. Yup. Well, y'all know what time it is. So I'm going to go ahead now and, of course, drop the link. While I know you're going to click it first, but let me get my timer. You said, where is Patrick Bet David from? He's from the Primordial Ooze. Y'all know that egg in the Power Rangers movie that Ivan Ooze came out of? That's where he's from. But hold on, let me look that up for you. See where he's from. Where is he from? He's from Iran. Patrick Bet David is from Iran. So he's not even American. He's a citizen now, assuming he might have dual citizenship, but he wasn't born here. Walla, what's going on?
What's going on, Torian? Hope everybody's good in the chat. As the grift continues, Torian, why do they they hate us, but then they love to put their leaders next to our leaders? It really doesn't make any sense, because if you look at Charlie, all he did was argue with college kids. That's all the man is known for. I don't even think about that man like that. So for these idiots to keep talking about Charlie, and they kind of want to speak into existence where it's not going to be in existence. Now, let's not go there this year, because like you said earlier, it could be some stuff about him and his wife that comes out, like, oh, he was cheating on her or she was cheating on him. Now, that stuff come out, everybody's going to be on top of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So they need to kind of hold their horses with that. Like, come on, man. Like, they ain't nowhere in the same proximity to each other. Like, they still going around with that stupid notion that, oh, he was cheating on his wife. His wife came out and debunked that. They'll never bring that up. I'm still trying to figure out why they keep bringing it up, but they just trying to tarnish that man's legacy. They don't like the man yet. The same man they don't like, Charlie tried to expose early last year. I don't know if they forgot about that though, but yeah, like this is just nothing but clickbait rage stuff. So I would land my plane there, Torian. B1.
B1. All right, shout out to Wilder for coming up. Next up, we got AW1. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Torian? You sound depressed. Listen to that.
Like I said, I just can't, like, insulting my intelligence, as y'all know, is my number one pet peeve, and I feel like that's exactly what happened here. I know that's what happened here.
I'll say this. First off, I'm going to end this now. First, the difference between Charlie Kirk and Martin Luther King. Show me a time MLK, actively worked against a dead 17-year-old boy's parents to help a killer get off. Charlie did with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. That's how he got famous. And then this notion of him, he was open to debating anybody. BS. Debating college kids who are not prepared. That's not impressive. And not to mention they never change. And then and then I see some kids that did, like, would own him. No, his thing was he was trying to push his agenda onto them and get more recruitments to his TP USA. That's what he was there for. He was there to recruit more people.
Yeah.
To push this crap.
We know that was nothing but a recruiting thing. Yeah.
Show me where MLK did that. Show me that. I'm not yelling at you, Torian, but it's just it is annoying.
I understand. I know who you're targeting at too.
And PBD, I mean, come on, are we surprised by that dude? No, he's a known racist towards black folks. And I'm not a Roland Martin fan, but Roland Martin even checked his ass. Good.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
if he makes Roland Martin look good, yeah, you're bad. But that guy's a known racist. He did that people of color crap. But he sees our skin color. So yeah. But Tor, you stay woke, be one, and no buzz for you, Wallow.
Yeah, AW1, you got out of there just in time. You had 7 seconds. And before I bring the next person up, going back to what AW1 just said, that right there is, and with Patrick Bet-David being from Iran, he would be under the category of a person of color. That's why we don't do that over here. You see that right there, what he did in that video? That is exactly why I do not put black people in that category of POC, because as you can see, we would have to deal with the anti-black people in that bunch over there. And let's hypothetically say we was in that POC category. We would be dead last. If there was a table full of food, we would literally get the scraps that are left over, if that, because 9 times out of 10 they would probably let the dogs and the cats eat before us, so we would probably be licking the floor. Let me bring up my next person. World of Clowns, what's going on?
Hey, Taria. That was just pathetic. I mean, they were trying. You could tell they were trying. I mean, like, of course, I knew who Charlie was because I watch a lot of political stuff. So of course, I knew who he was. But before he got killed, nobody knew who this man was. Charlie Kirk is just basically a nobody, because even after he got killed, no one even talks about this guy anymore. Who have you heard say anything about him ever since he got killed?
Nobody really like that, except that Amfest, but that's only because they kept trying to keep his name out there. But really, if you looked at the analytics, the people's stuff who was ever talking about him, it started to dwindle after about 2 weeks after he died. And then when October rolled in, it's like it went back to business as usual. But like I said, they keep trying to make it seem like his legacy is bigger than what it is, and it is not.
And it will never be. Dr. King will always be talked about. And people will always talk about Dr. King. And they just need to accept that. And
is that it? Oh, you got more.
And this thing about him cheating on his wife, I didn't believe that when I heard it, because I was like, I didn't believe that, because Dr. King just didn't seem like that kind of man, especially growing up in the time that he grew up in. Especially growing up in the time that he grew up in. Oh.
Thanks for coming up. Wallow, you got your wish. Wallow got his wish. I be trying to hope that Wallow doesn't make it, but he manages to pull it off every time. Okay, let's see who we got. Oh, y'all already know what time it is.
Heed my command and reclaim these relics of hatred.
Miss Niecy, what's going on?
Good evening, Torian and family in the chat. I tell you, WS lunacy fuck shit is off the Richter scales. The garbage that falls out of these assholes' mouths, you really can't get mad. Really, you can't. You just gotta be like, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like, shit. The thing about it, they try to keep his name in the limelight or whatever. Well, Erica Kirk ain't gave 2 seconds about her husband. She has yet to grieve. She too busy being an attention hoe. It is what it is. But that's all I got to say, boo-boo. How was your day?
My day was good. How was yours?
My day was also good. I had to go grocery shopping because I ran out of everything, and that ain't my norm.
I hope you didn't cuss anybody out.
You know what, Torian? I rarely have to cuss people out because I have a mean mug, my resting big face on at all times. All right, be blessed, baby.
You too. Shout out to Miss Niecy for coming up. Uh-oh, I already know what Wallow about to do now. Jonathan, what's going on?
What's going on, man? So what that dude said about Martin Luther King, if Martin Luther King was alive, or his family, I'm sure his family's still around, he actually gets sued for defamation of character. Because first of all, since when do we even hear about Martin Luther King, having an affair behind his wife's back? When did we ever heard about him watching someone get sexual assault? That's my first time. I'm today years old when I heard that. So, yeah, I don't understand, you're desperate for profit that you'll even make up these lies. That's why when they put stuff on social media, I don't never believe in it, because they know it's making lies. And if that stuff about them come up, yeah, and like Marlon said, if they have stuff about them, have stuff in their cause, they try to put on Martin Luther King. Oh, we need to be talking about that for a good old lot about that, clown them all over, because they deserve it. And they still need to get sued. So if I'm Martin Luther King family, sue them for defamation of law of character, because that was nowhere never mentioned in all their or any records. That's all I got to say.
Appreciate you coming up. Well, John, Wallow, you didn't get your wish again. With that one anyway. Jay, the informant, what's going on? Your mic is muted.
All right, am I coming through now? I'm gonna make this real quick and simple. I think that comparison by Patrick Bet David, whatever his name is, I think I got it right. I think that comparison is atrocious, because he's comparing what they had back then in the 60s and the 50s to what we have now with all this technology. They could be able to, record themselves more, which is what what's his dude name again that passed away? Eric. This is what Eric did. He just went up to college campuses and he just recorded himself. Oh
see
yeah,
how see how fast you forgot. You didn't even know his name, and when you just watched the whole stream when we talked, and his name was mentioned a whole bunch of times. See how quick it was forgotten.
Yeah, but my bad. Charlie Kirk, this is what he did. He just went up to campuses. He was backed by billionaires or millionaires, whatever you want to do. Martin Luther King went to jail. He had to write letters and all that stuff. Charlie Kirk never write no letters. So to compare these two is like comparing a dump site to, in my opinion, a golden treasure that's buried, which is Martin Luther King. You know, and that's all I got to say, man. So screw Patrick B. Davis. He needs to go take a seat somewhere and stop kissing so much ass. But that's all I got to say, man.
Appreciate you coming up. Shout out to Jay. Next up, we got Goddess M. What's going on?
Hey, Torian, what's going on, brother? B1 to you.
B1.
Long time no here, family. Shout out to my big sis Nisi. I was tuning in. Of course, I'm at work, so you know how that be. But to hear what those people had to say, your bag of assorted, ruler class, so-called ruler class, Neanderthal, white supremacist, knuckle dragging idiots, your common bag of mist nuts that choose to even try to put worthless jerk in the same category as someone with the stature of Dr. Martin Luther King. We know what their play is. The revisionist history that they choose to give and to do. And we have our eyes out on them, but we'll continue to call these people out because we are our own gatekeepers of our own story. And it's not their story, it's our story. And we have the archives, and we'll make sure that their revisionist history would never erase our greats. And shout out to you, family. Love y'all. Peace. And I'm always listening, and I'll be turning it back in here and there. Love you. Bye.
Appreciate you. Shout out to Goddess M for coming up. Oh, y'all, I think he might have heard us. I think he might have been lurking in the chat. Patrick Bum David of Scamutainment. What's up, KG?
We wrote that for a reason. He's a scam artist, and he's been called out as a scam artist, and he's talking about another scam artist, but that scam artist is in the dirt now. So by logic, then his company be in the dirt. But, Patrick Bet-David, he understands that after 2026, he's not going to be around anymore. They're going to turn on him very soon. For those who don't know, and I'm going to elaborate on this tomorrow, the U.S. is gearing up to go after Iran again. And he's going to be forced to defend his homeland, and they're going to turn on him. So mark my words, this is going to be hilarious. First,
hold up. Is this what you was telling me about in the DM? Is this what you was referring to?
Something else I saw this morning. You're going to love it. I'm going to do a video on it when I get home tonight. I'm going to record it. When y'all see it, Torian, you're going to laugh your ass off.
I'm ready.
I just wanted the family to understand 2026, Patrick Bet-David is going to have to defend Iran, and they're going to call him a terrorist. You watch what I tell you.
Well, I'm waiting to see it.
But I'm going back to my Scamutainment.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Shout out to KG. Ms. Nisi said, Wallow J, I dare you to give me the buzzer. Listen, Ms. Nisi doesn't take her whole 2 minutes. She can get straight to the point within maybe 30 seconds. I mean, one time she got her straight to her point in like 7 seconds. I said, that's got to be a new record. But I think that might be the last person to come up to speak to the topic tonight. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead now. In the live, was able to do it in right under an hour. Tomorrow is Deep Dive Wednesday. So, that's the one day of the week that I decide to just pick a topic and just give my thoughts, historical thoughts on a particular topic. And it's actually one that has been talked about before, but I want to go even further into it. But y'all will see what it is. I'm going to put the premiere window up most likely after we get off of this live. So with that being said, shout out to everyone who came through. Shout out to everyone who contributed to the super chat or continue being members of the channel. Shout out to everybody over there on Patreon. And if you are over there on Patreon, you will be getting a new Patreon video tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Shout out to everybody that's in the Discord, all the members, all the mods. just everybody on the channel, any new subscribers. I'm glad that you are all here. The next live that will be done will be the weekly recap on Saturday at 6 p.m. So be on the lookout for that as well, because man, some of those topics are going to be a doozy. That's all I'm gonna say. With that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe, stay warm, but most importantly, be one.